Hi guys and welcome back. So in today's video I thought I would share with you a toy rotation that I just did in my living room in the main play space of our house. I thought I would just share with you what I put out. If you don't know who I am, my name is Abigail. I've got a son called Samuel who is almost 3 and a little baby called Noah who is 3 months old. And so these activities are related to them specifically. Noah is currently in the stage where he's learning to grasp things. So I've got grasping activities for him, things that he can learn to grasp and put in his mouth, because that's the stage that he's at. Samuel is really into, and has been for quite a while now, he's really into movement. And so that ties in with the trajectory schema, which essentially just means movement. He likes to move, he likes to run, he likes to jump, throw, hammer things. He loves everything to do with that. And so all of these activities that are out at the moment are really to tie in with that need of his. And so without further ado, let's just get into our Montessori play space tour. As you walk in the door from the hallway, over here we have Samuel's snack table and also his craft table. So I leave this clear for him to do crafts and snacks. And these are some of his crafts at the moment. We're currently on Noah's Ark and we just finished Adam and Eve. So that's that little table there left clear. Then over here we have our sofa, because this is a multifunctional space and it's also our living room. And then here is a puzzle. I've left a 20-piece puzzle out for Samuel, which is pretty tricky for him. It's a Thomas the Tank Engine puzzle, and we'll probably work on this together because that is quite a tricky number of puzzles. He's just recently completed a 16-piece puzzle by himself, so I've put out the next level of challenge for him. Then over here we have a little basket of bean bags. Samuel loves to throw, so we are throwing bean bags all the time, and this is a little basket for him to aim the bean bags into, to have them somewhere for them to actually go rather than just throwing them at people. So we put the little basket here, and then we take them out the basket and we just put the basket maybe over there, and from the sofa we throw the bean bags into the basket. It's a very simple activity that he loves. Then here we have our movement mat for Noah. This mat is amazing. We love it so much. I will link everything down below that I talk about today, by the way, guys. But it's a reversible play mat, like this. It looks like this on the other side. It's made of memory foam, I think. And it's from a lovely brand called Toddler and Tumble. We really love it. It's kind of pricey, but it's definitely worth it. This is the biggest size that they do. And it is so nice because it gives a big area for Noah to lie on at this age, and then when he's older he can start crawling around, and it gives a nice cushioned surface for him to crawl around on. Here we have his changing mat, which is pretty much out all the time at the moment, and I've just put one of these mobile things that hangs over on a bouncy chair usually, but it's a perfect height for him when he lies here to go on, just to kind of grab the little items and make noises with the little rattly parts, and he really loves that. So that's there for him. We also have a balance board, which is plastic, that Philip found at the car boot sale, and it is just like a normal balance board. It's very brightly coloured, and you just rock back and forth on it. And again, trajectory schema, very fun. Samuel finds this quite challenging as well, because it is quite tricky to do. So we just keep that in there with all the rest of our nappies and things for changing Noah with. Moving over here, we have something that doesn't look particularly Montessori, but I have tried to make it slightly more Montessori by removing the bottom mat, which was overstimulating for him because it is quite brightly coloured. This is from Fisher-Price. We tend to not use the music or lights function on this. And at the moment I've just hung on his Freddie the firefly, which he absolutely loves. And yes, this is not the most Montessori thing in the world, but he absolutely loves it. It's a really great sensory experience for him because all of these different parts have different textures. He grabs onto these rings all the time. These are jingly, as you can hear. These are crinkly, there's a mirror, black and white at the back. It's just a really great little thing for him to look at and play with. And he really loves it, and he's always loved it. So you can got more crinkly over here and more textures. Yeah, he really enjoys this. And as I said earlier, what he's trying to work on at the moment is grasping. So he loves to grab onto those rings, and because he's not turned over or anything yet or crawling, he is able to grab it when he's lying on his back. So that's his favourite activity at the moment. Then over here we have our Pikler triangle, which I've just changed the shape of the Pikler triangle to make it into an M-type shape. We have this out all the time because it's really great for supporting Samuel in his trajectory schema and his need to climb and slide, and yeah, really great investment this was. You can also put some of his other items he's got on his shelves down the slide, again to aid with movement. He loves it so much. Then I'll go over here. Over here is his little, he's had this since he was quite small, learning to walk. It's a little bus thing which you push along, and yeah, just he loves running about, pushing it back and forth. You can use it for transporting things. So we have that there. Over here, I've just switched out all of our books into different books. He loves to read. Reading is one of his favourite things ever. So we're going on a bear hunt, which is, I love to read that one. It's a lovely book to read. 2 of Noah's black and white books. And then Julia Donaldson's, which maybe not specifically Montessori, but he loves so much. We've got The Snail and the Whale and A Squash and a Squeeze. He loves Julia Donaldson books. This one is a picture book of the outdoors, which is just basically loads of lovely pictures of everything to do with outdoors. And then at the back we have lift the flap first 100 numbers, which is just working on numbers with him and lifting flaps and just looking at all the realistic pictures. So that's our current book selection over there. With regard here, we have our shelves with all the rest of his toys, but down here I'm going to go into this because this is Noah's little basket over here. Because Noah isn't crawling yet, I've just put them in a basket and put them down there because he can't get to them at the moment by himself, so I need to just pull them out for him. So I've just kind of stored them a bit out of the way, and I just pull it out throughout the day whenever he wants to use them. And so we've got this, which is very noisy. It's just a really cheap fire blanket we bought online. We actually bought 2 of these, and one of them was we got them when Samuel was little, and so we had 2, and this is the second one that we brought out for Noah. Samuel also loves to play with this because it makes a really amazing sound. Then these are the toys that I have out in rotation for Noah at the moment. This book is Jungly Tails with all the little tail bits, which is very easy for little fingers to grab, and it's very crinkly again, and it's just got little pictures like that in it. He loves that. Then I've got all his grasping toys because, like I said, he's learning to grasp onto things at the moment. We have a matchstick monkey, which will be great for teething later. We have an O-ball, which also makes a sound. We have this little ball which you'll be able to chew on. We have newbie teether rings. We have a hand kite which he can look at, and he'll be able to eventually grab onto and chew on this as well. And then we have a little rattle, which is just what a rattle does. It shakes, and then you again grab onto it and you can eat it. Well, not eat it, but he can chew on it, and that is really enjoyable. So these are all the activities I have it for him at the moment, because he's learning to grasp, and all of these things can be held really, really easily by his little fingers. So that's what we have over there. I'll just show you what's on Samuel's main shelves at the moment. I have tried to keep his toys and everything to a minimum, but it's really, really hard because they've got quite a lot of things that I like to put out for him. But I've tried to keep it quite minimal because he is much more likely to use the things if I keep it to a minimum. So the first thing that I've got to show you is, I'll go over here first. So we've got a little Alexa Echo thing, which we use for his screen time. And next to that we have 2 balls. He always has balls out because he loves to throw, like I said. And so we just have 2 of these sensory balls out, which are lovely to feel if you're a little bit smaller. So Noah will like this in the future as well. Samuel just throws these. So that's the first thing we have on that bench. And that bit. Then here, further down, we have a hammer toy. So you get these little pegs which you put in here. I've left them out for Samuel to do by himself. You put them in there, and then you hammer it. And Samuel loves to hammer. So this is already pretty battered. And so, yeah, that's what we have for him there. A little hammering toy, which will hopefully help prevent him hammering on us, because that's something he also likes to do. Then up here we have a little basket of musical instruments. We just rotate out our musical instruments because he likes them. We have a little wooden kazoo from Plan Toys. We have I don't want to move because it makes a noise. We have a maraca, and we have a little bell jingly thing. And so I've put 3 of them out for him just now. Below that, on the shelf below that, we have some cars, little wooden cars, and then a car transporter, which looks like this. Car transporter, and then you can put all these little cars on here, and this bit comes down. And so you can use it like this, or you can put it down at the slide. or he can just roll it around everywhere. He can do loads of different things with that. Up here we have one part of the Grimm's rainbow. I have the rest above there, but I've just taken one part down and put a little granny on it so he can rock that back and forth if he likes. I've also put out baby, I've put grandpa, and I've put the one that's Samuel out, so that's lies there. You can also take one of these cars and put it into the rainbow and rock it back and forth. Again, movement, tying in with the trajectory schema. He really likes to do that. Then down here I have a little thing for in case he wants to do pretend play. So I have little shark and turtle. I think I'll just zoom in on this one for you so you can see. It's got a scarf underneath it which is blue to act as water, and that's if he wants to do pretend play with the little water scene that I've put out for him. And we're also learning about Noah's Ark at the moment, and so I can use these little animals and the little blue scarf as we're talking about Noah's Ark as well, and so that ties in nicely with that. On the shelf behind me here I have a little box of Ritz crackers, but not really because it's just a box, and I've just stuffed scarves in here, and these are just scarves that came with that set, that little blue one there. I've just stuffed a bunch of scarves in here, and this is just again for him to throw. Again, all about movement, for him to throw around, for him to swirl around and around with, and just swivel and all things. He can also use that for dressing up if he wants to dress up, what he does like to do sometimes. And then down in this little compartment here, I have some plastic pig toys which involve movement. So I have Peppa and George, little teeny tiny Peppa and George, on a roundabout which swivels round, and then I have a seesaw, which again, movement, everything movement. I've just put everything movement out for him to try and kind of give him that opportunity to fulfill that need, because that's what he's really into at the moment. And then behind me I have this little ball roll, which is really simple for him to do. He really was loving this when he was 1, and it's quite tricky, but he loves it. You just put the ball in there, and it rolls down. So again, movement, loves it. He has you can also buy a car, like chip track with, that you can use that has the same idea, and he loves that as well. I'd put this one out for a little bit of a change. And so those are all the things that I put out for him at the moment. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and it helped you, give you some ideas if you've got a little baby or a son that's like mine and really into movement. It was give you some ideas of what you could put out for your child. And I'll see you very soon in my next one. Bye, guys.